Yeah, I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing where I go over bot builds or my bot build because that way it gets me to do post-fight analysis and stuff like that. Kind of talk it over. Try to make people more aware. So Bigfoot, I guess I'll just start with the intro of Bigfoot. Bigfoot, my antweight robot. Uh, there was a meetup on Saturday. Just it wasn't an actual tournament, so we just got some fights in. Since this is Bigfoot's first few fights, not plastic, being this so this is TPU, not the plastic format where it's just your standard 3D printed fabric or 3D printed plastics. But we can already see where there's some design changes that need to be made in some of our fights. So I'm gonna just get started with the first fight.
In 3, 2.
So this fight is against. Sorry for the quality, but that's just the video quality we had. It's against a two-wheeled horizontal spinner versus the Fox. We apparently fight them a lot. They're in Wisconsin, so we're probably going to run into them a lot.
3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so
pretty much my strategy against these horizontal spinners. Actually, before we'll just let it play for a second.
In 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so in the lower half we've got Bigfoot.
Ooh, nice pin.
Getting a hold block. Run up. We got a little bit of mobility. Now keep an eye on those top robots. They've got that you can contend with. It's going to do a very big thing in this whole arena.
That was a consistent problem with the forks. The forks get caught up.
Alright, so Jimmy just slicing away at those forks.
Another issue is
in the
that
lower arena. Looks like Bigfoot largely controls the front of this match.
Ooh, watch out.
yeah, that was from there's a double-decker arena, so there's actually a fight going up in the top. That blade from up top came down.
I think maybe taking off forks. This fork's not going to work in this configuration.
4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so Jimmy has scored a knockout. They can,
so there's knockout up top. Yeah, so it turns out that with the nylon and TPU, there's a tighter tolerance than the PETG.
Too far to the side of Bigfoot. Bigfoot is around the tire, but doesn't seem to be hindering them a whole lot.
Yeah, forks I think are going to be a no-go.
Yeah, I need to stop backing into it.
Alright, we're better as a two-wheel drive, it's fine.
It's a really heated match on the bottom section. Really heated.
Nice pen.
So I like the shape of Bigfoot, but I need to make some changes to those forks I plug it into.
Let's get another pen in.
Bigfoot still hanging on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a fight.
Yeah, we ended up losing that one, I think, to judge's decision. We just took too much damage and we didn't control the fight enough. If we go back, one thing that I want to change, if we go to like just the beginning here.
Go! Alright, so the lower half we've got...
We had them pinned right here, but the problem is with the ESC I'm using, so there's 4 motors on Bigfoot for drive, and I'm not able to put out enough current to each one because they're running parallel. So I'm going to change the ESC so I can get more current to go to the wheels, because right here,
ooh, nice pin.
I'm trying to move him into the wall, but I just don't have enough current going to the wheels, so I'm not getting enough torque.
So
he just sort of broke out of it. There's other times, and a lot of times if you go a little bit further in.
Ooh, watch out.
Let's go back. Wait, that's not there we go. Yeah, a lot of our forks getting stuck up like that. When I went to moving nylon and TPU, there's a lot tighter of tolerances, or the holes are smaller than with the PETG. So there's not, so it's too tight on the screw, so it doesn't like fall to the ground like it should. So that's in addition to like me changing the tolerance on or the holes on that, I'm going to try to switch to metal forks because in this fight and in future fights, I basically lose my forks almost every time.
Watch out!
I'm trying to double check how I lost my tire there.
Watch out!
That's another thing. During a lot of the plastic fights, I was able to sort of back into people and stop their weapon. If we go to the post more, like the photos, this is from this fight. This is actually cut all the way through on this thinner part, and it goes well past the bottom layer. And I need to stop backing into people unless I know their weapon is down. And I was also going to add more material if I can to this back side to add more layers. Yeah, and also I need to get out of the habit of backing into people because I lost the tire there. And then later, yeah, this is real bad. We have the forks up like that.
Forks. Those forks aren't going to work in this configuration.
I was almost glad when he took them off. But yeah, the adjustment to the forks, we're going to have metal forks, definitely. And we're going to change up some of the dimensions so they actually stay down to the ground. Fine. Okay. Yeah, that one I backed it.
We're better as two-wheel drive. It's fine.
That's one good thing about about our bot is that this was well after the fight, so I didn't get an immediate picture. But these are press fit, so they come off easily. I do that so they're not like sort of stuck on their canted. So even if we get a damaged wheel, we can still drive. And that was a big driver behind it having 4 wheels instead of 2, is we can lose tires and still keep fighting. You can see on the front, I just wanted to show this. Obviously the forks broke. That's something that I'm going to fix with having them actually stay down by changing tolerances as well as getting metal forks. But the nice thing about TPU is like this didn't shatter at all, just cut. But they got a nice deep cut in there, but I'm surprised that they weren't able to cut through and end up getting to the flipper, so that was nice. We're gonna just move on to the next fight. So for this one, we're gonna go through, let the whole fight play out, and then I'm gonna go through again, pausing it. I guess we started. Yeah, started late, but whatever. This was the bot that actually lost its weapon at the top.
Yeah.
I'm still getting. You can also tell that I'm still getting used to driving. I didn't have much stick time before I started.
That's hilarious.
40 seconds in. So a minute 20 seconds left for Bigfoot to try to rack up.
We just sort of did exactly.
I think it was high centered. I don't think so.
Yeah, this fight we won more because of how they built their bot than me. And just ignore the fact that I'm stuck in the side in it going back and forth. I just really need to get used to driving with the 4 wheels. And so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have more stick time going into March. But overall, I'm trying to figure out why his weapon wasn't speeding up. I guess we're just smothering it. But yeah, he wasn't able to like turn around there. Pin there.
Yeah.
I was a little bit afraid there when he was upside down because of how exposed our flipper is on top. Turned out to be fine. We have yet to be punished for this. That's another thing about this event is we never got knocked out, and we weren't really didn't get damaged on the top. I did lose the flipper in the next 2 fights, which we'll take a look at. There was obviously not a damage photo because we didn't take it much damage. That is Bigfoot's first knockout though. This is I'm trying to remember the name of it. But this is a shuffler vert. This was you can't it's hard to tell from this, but this was the cleanest looking bot at the event. I was pretty intimidated. My strategy of bots rushing everybody with a spinning weapon. I was able to get underneath them, which is. But the forks not staying on the ground. Took a couple of them with that. Still getting used to driving it. Yeah, my forks just weren't getting underneath them. These are the shuffler, so this weighs 1.5 pounds instead of the 1 pound I weigh. I could really feel it. Oh, is this where I fucked up? There, see that? I thought I was underneath them. Because I was testing the waters. I'm like, oh, maybe I am underneath them. I was not underneath them. The only time I lost my flipper during this event was because of my own mistake. Yeah, I couldn't really do much. I didn't have a flipper. I didn't have my forks. I don't know how I ended up going backwards, but... I think during this one there was just so much debris from previous fights, and Bigfoot's so low to the ground and stuff.
Real free now.
I need to figure out why I keep spinning like that. I just sort of like rotate when I hit him.
About 10 seconds left in Bigfoot. 5.
Yeah, I did a decent job of keeping my front two up there. Without forks, it didn't really matter. Yeah, I need to figure out why I kept turning when I'd hit him. But yeah, comes back to the forks. He wasn't able to do that much damage. This is entirely my fault. We're planning on changing the forks like I mentioned. Yeah, I ended up backing into him once, but luckily we had the extra tires actually helped, so it didn't matter too much that we lost the tire. But yeah, I think when Joseph was talking about me having drive problems, it was just I was so low to the floor and there was just so much debris. But if I back into them here, can't quite get to the flipper, so that was still pretty good. So that's promising. Let's just go into the fourth fight. That's another thing I'm changing is just also having it so this lid is attached to the front. It didn't really come up in any of the fights, but this last fight was a plastic fight against the Fox. They have a plastic spinner at this point, but we're made out of PETG, which is much more brittle than our main material.
No, you're not. I'm joining.
Drivers, ready to go?
3, 2.
Alright, let's start this fight in 3, 2, 1, go!
Maybe we get the pin early. Lost some tires, and yeah, I should not have flipped into that.
Oh, the lemon snap!
We need to double check what happened. Yeah, we ended up losing both our tires on that.
It's
weapon anymore. 30 seconds in. Bigfoot might have
a right. Oh yeah, we kind of like the effectiveness of their weapon after that first exchange. But yeah, our forks keep getting stuck up. Real problem.
Too tired for that. Halfway through.
Yeah, additionally, I'm getting rid of. There's like a little hook on the fork that I'm getting rid of. But yeah, here I don't have a problem with backing into them because they're not spinning. But yeah, as you can keep seeing, we're pushing up against them, but we're not really able to. Just we're able to stop them. We're not able to push them back. Oh, there we go. Back. That was because we got them off their tires. Oh my God, this camera. Yep, I don't really care about the forks. They actually turned off here.
A few more forks, but that's it. 10, 9, 8. Because they're a lot, right? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, technically.
Yeah, I want to rewatch that first exchange because I know how I lost my flipper by just looking. I'm trying to see how I lost my front two tires. Because I think they did it from the top, basically.
All right. Let's start this fight in 3, 2, 1, go.
So we're stuck. Flipping was just a bad idea. The tires, though. Okay, they went down onto the first one. When I flipped them, they landed on the left tire. Oh, and I drove forward into them is when they took out the right one. But oh yeah, that was actually good. I'm glad I rewatched it because that was so chaotic the second time I should have not flipped into that. Honestly, the thing with the flipper, I should have kept the flipper up. I shouldn't have brought back down. I don't want a promotion. Yeah, I'm not looking for that. But yeah, the problem is when I came back down, not actually even going up. To go up, I shouldn't have gone back down, honestly. That was a real problem. But yeah. Yeah, that was just a chaotic couple of seconds, but.
The weapon is snapped in half. Definitely hurting after that one. Not sure if you're going to get the weapon anymore. 30 seconds in. Bigfoot might have.
But yeah, so what I currently have I'm actually just we're gonna talk about some of the changes we're gonna make. So these forks, just a recap on changes. We're gonna change these forks into metal forks. It should make them slide better and move and stay down, as well as kind of changing the tolerances. Another thing, a problem actually we had at the middle, between fight 1 and 2 that I didn't talk about is our N20s. Some of them came basically wired backwards, so they were spinning in the wrong direction. We spent like an hour or two or probably closer to an hour troubleshooting that. And it was because we had the one full bot running, we just didn't have our spare running because of that. But that wasn't really a thing we can design change around. But yeah, the forks, with the tire tolerances, I changed the tolerances for the 3mm. Another thing you also can't see is that underneath this, there's actually a bunch of screws. And we're actually going to change everything to 3mm because now it's like there's 3mm, 2.5mm, and 4mm. We're changing everything to 3mm since I think 3mm should hold with going down. That way we can use one wrench on everything, and we can also save a little bit of weight, but I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. This is actually going to stay 4mm because I want to, since we're going to metal forks, I really want to keep those bad boys on there. The big change also is we're going to change to because currently we're running a Malenki, which is a certain ESC receiver package, and we're going to switch that to the Malenki HV, which is a higher voltage. People normally use that to use higher batteries, but it also has a higher current output, because looking at the current output for these motors, they can go up to like 2 amps, but the max for the Malenki is basically 2 amps, so we're getting half as much current as we need, and the high voltage one is more like 3.8. So I don't think we'd be getting the full current in order to like max out our motors, but we're going to be getting a lot more current uh, than the what our current ESC can put out. And a lot of people talked about like changing the motors from N20s because N20s aren't great for ant weights, but I think we're gonna have to stick to N20s. For next bot, I might try something like repeat robotics motors, but for now we're using N20s, especially since there's 4 of them. We also run it on a 2S. I've looked up, I've considered going up to a bigger battery, but but like with weight, the smaller battery, the 2S battery, allows us to put a lot more cushion and armor and stuff, and allows us to be kind of durable. And because we didn't get knocked out, we didn't even get inverted, but I think part of that's just how it's built. There's a lot of screws on the bottom that kind of make it very bottom heavy. But yeah, that's it. Oh, I was also going to change the back to have more layers here because this is only about a 1 millimeter thick. So I want to make it so we can take a little bit more, but we'll see how much we can get away with considering we're making changes to the front and everything. So we'll see what our weight comes out to be, because there's definitely like we're making some big changes, and this should be the last, hopefully the last time we make big major changes, because in March, I believe March 9th, is when the first qualifier we're participating in for both the Wisconsin qualifier as well as the Midwest qualifier. So yeah, hopefully we can get Bigfoot ready. I think next week, same time, I might do a update for the build, and instead of showing you here, I'm going to do an update on the build next week, since I'll have something printed, hopefully something for you guys to look at other than CAD, because the CAD's kind of ugly. But yeah, thank you to who came. I don't really have much more for this, so I was probably just going to end the stream there. So yeah, you guys have a great night.